Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bull's Basement. I'm Monji.
I'm Ryan.
I might be Banana Dan.
Bananas.
Disappointing lack of bananas today, but
I wore a Joker shirt.
we have a really cool series we're going to kick off called the Tournament of Primarchs. All 19 Primarchs, that's Valdor included for all of you Custodes fans. We're going to run through a bunch of one-on-one Tower of Power challenges.
Yeah, we just had WrestleMania, so we figured we'd do the Primarch
Royal Rumble.
Yeah. That's, I'm sure, copyrighted. But anyways, So we're going to be coming to you with a series of videos. Basically, is just smashing all these guys together in a bracket format, and it's going to be a bloodfest of...
A tournament of champions. Of the Emperor's champions.
Yeah.
And Chaos's champions, and we can't forget those dudes.
Sure.
They were the Emperor's first?
So, let's talk about our format, right? So
Okay.
we're going to start with the Primarchs are going to start in base-to-base contact. We're going to roll off to see which of the Primarchs got the charge, and then we will resolve the fight. If at the end of 5 turns, neither Primarch has been slain, then we're going to call that a draw, and both Primarchs will lose.
Are we doing Overwatch or any kind of reactions as these guys come together?
No, we read through a lot of the pistol rules, and it's not that they are all not relevant, but most of them are really not relevant to this. And they're like, the Primarchs are really just melee beat sticks at the end of the day.
Okay.
So we're going to see most of the action there. We decided to just cut out the filler and get to the action.
All right. So what about Primarchs that might have an ability to like bounce out of combat?
So I think for those, we maybe do the charge roll off again.
Okay.
To see if if they're able to maneuver well enough and stuff like
Get
that.
that additional
Obviously,
attack and...
Obviously, Primarchs with hit and run like Jagatai and Korax are going to be, a little bit weird in this format. But we're also not going to be covering Primarchs that don't have models. So no Jagatai on bike this time around.
Sad.
Yeah.
So speaking of Primarchs, Dan, they do all share a certain set of rules,
They
right?
do. In fact, the Primarch rule, it's a universal special rule, found on page 196 of the AOD book. Primarch, mightiest of all the Emperor's creations and the greatest warriors and generals of their age. The Primarchs of the Space Marine Legions epitomize the dark ages of the Horus Heresy. These colossi of war were powerful beyond the capabilities of any mortal warrior or steel-forged automata. For their only equal was another of their own kind. The following rules apply to all Primarchs. All Primarchs have the following special rules. Independent character, eternal warrior, fearless, it will not die 5-up, bulky 4, and relentless. In addition, all models with the Primarch unit type always count as character models. Primarchs are not affected by special rules that negatively modify their characteristics, other than wounds, and in addition, Primarchs always resolve snapshots at their normal BS. Busted.
Yeah.
Any hits inflicted by a Primarch as part of either shooting attacks or in close combat are allocated by the Primarch's controlling player and not the controlling player of the target unit. Ugh. These hits should form a separate wound pool. Not applicable to this particular fight, but a cool rule. If any army includes any Primarch models, then one of those models must be chosen as the army's warlord.
So that's all of the Primarch shared rules. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah. So what do you think is the most kind of essential rules there in that kind of block of text?
It will not die is the big one. I mean, since the Primarchs are all immune to instant death, it's going to be how many wounds can you shave off versus how many wounds can they heal up. It's also worth noting it's going to give an advantage to some guys like Ferrus Manus who get to stack their it will not die rolls.
I think Eternal Warrior is pretty clutch in there too. It
Yeah. limits
the amount of damage you can take off of a single hit.
Yes.
So
In other words,
multi-wound damage doesn't apply.
a Primarch dogfight takes a hot minute.
It
Yeah.
does. These are not going to be quick fights, I don't think. I think, even the lesser Primarchs in close combat are probably going to be three-ish
I mean,
rounds.
I can tell you for anybody who's going to be running Primarchs in like a regular game of Horus Heresy, like most of the time if they do meet up with another Primarch, it's going to be multiple rounds and end in a draw. Like
You're going to get that cinematic moment for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk predictions, because I know that this is like come into the sports center and here's our predictions.
All right.
Here on Bulls PN.
Dun-dun-dun. Da-na-na.
That's Bull's Primarch Network. You like that?
Ah, perfect.
Bull's
Yeah.
Kid.
All right. So
Close
what are you feeling, Ryan? Obviously, Valdor's got to be up there, right?
I am a big fan of Valdor, but I do think he has some serious disadvantages when it comes to facing off against the Sons of the Emperor. So I think in this regard, I do like Ferrus Manus. That brutal weapon
Is brutal.
is brutal. He has the ability to start getting wounds back, so that's awesome. Other kind of notable figures, anybody with weapon skill 8 is going to be amazing. And I think the Primarchs who are good last edition are probably still running around, breaking these. I think Lionel Johnson and Russ are obviously going to be heavy hitters also.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm looking at who's got brutal weapons, who's got weapon skill above 7,
Right.
Who's got initiative above 6. I'm looking at Fulgrim. I'm looking at the Lion. I'm looking at Russ as kind of my big contenders here. I think there's a few shadow contenders like Ferrus. I think he's going to surprise a lot of folks.
Yeah.
And I think Valdor, if he rolls hot, those lightning blows are really big.
For me, it's kind of a mixed bag on him just because, he's always going to be hitting on a 4, which is great. But he doesn't have a brutal weapon, and, the actual strength of the weapon is not great. However, the 3++ invuln save is going to be clutch.
Yeah, I think the Primarchs that are on a 4 and the Primarchs that are on a 3, that's another big differentiator here.
Yeah, I definitely, bold predictions are Lorgar and Alfarius are going down like Barbaro.
Oh, man.
I
think that,
there's going to be violence on the track, folks.
The support Primarchs are definitely going to have some challenge ahead for them.
Korax is in for a rough time, too.
Yeah. He can't fly away. You're doomed.
A lot of his stats
Yeah.
are built around, dodging the fight, and then, if he gets caught in a fight, he has all this cool, I'll blind you, and do all this other stuff that all Primarchs ignore.
Right.
So
right.
he
does not really want to be in combat.
Yeah.
With a Primarch.
He really wants to be
to punch down.
anywhere that is not fighting a Primarch. That's really where he shines.
He wants to be punching down on elite Terminators or just kind of capping objective. He's not really meant to come in and do damage against some of these heavy hitting characters that are just going to dunk on him.
Bold prediction: I think Horus is going to do very well.
Regular
Horus Lupercal, War Master of the Emperor.
Ooh, I think that he is going to do very well. I think he'll make it into the higher ends of the brackets, but I think that that unwieldy weapon, initiative 1 is a definite detriment.
It is brutal, so
it is brutal.
We will
brutal
see.
too, right?
Yeah.
I think Vulcan's going to last longer than most people suspect because he's
not
going to have
it will not die as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's not going to have the problem of being shot to pieces before he gets into combat,
which is a common salamander problem.
That is a salamander issue. He's just going to go and smash face with that smithing hammer.
Also keep an eye out for Magnus, who I think will do better than a lot of people think.
I know that a lot of people have Angron on the radar, and I think with the amount of attacks and the weapon skill, he's going to be somebody to contend with.
Quick side note, we're not going to have Magnus do any magic tricks, right?
He should definitely get psychic powers. He's Magnus.
Okay.
Big Daddy M. I think that's his...
Big Daddy M doing
his,
Big Daddy M things?
Yeah.
All right. Any other bold predictions here, gentlemen?
I think the bold prediction I'm going to make is this is going to be really fun.
I
agree.
This is going to be a hoot.
Yeah.
Also, on a personal note, we would like to thank all of the people who submitted models for this. The Austin Heresy wargaming community is amazing, and many of these models belong to them. So for those of you watching that are part of that community, thank you so much. It's really been a privilege to be able to play with your toys and get an opportunity to do this. It's not very often that I get to drive around with a mortgage payment worth of resin in my trunk or a safe vault of bubble wrap and packing peanuts, but we wouldn't be able to do this without those people.
No,
so.
you know who you are, and we thank you.
Yeah.
And we will be crediting the painters for the models in the descriptions of each video, so keep an eye out for those.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you on the other side of the arena. So from Bowles Basement, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bananas Dan.
You're Joker Dan today.
You're
Joker Dan today?
Yeah.
Joker Dan today.
Tear.
And I'm Monji. We'll see you in a bit, folks.